Hi guys, welcome to today's video, which is my Disney World trip roundup video. I have just finished editing all of my Disney World vlogs, which is super sad actually, and I didn't really, well, I don't remember, maybe I did, but I don't remember feeling as sad last time I finished my vlogs as I do this time. I just feel super sad about it. I don't know why. I've really enjoyed editing them, and I've tried new stuff with editing than I've ever done before, and I'm really proud of them as well. So maybe that's it, like maybe it's like sad because I feel like it was like a new way of me working, and I'm really proud of them. So yeah, this is just going to be a little video just to kind of end all of those videos, tie it all up with a nice little neat bow. But this Disney World trip, we went in September 2019, and it was the best trip of my life, genuinely. Like, it was just perfect. And we're going to go into a bit of like why was that? Why was it so good? Obviously, the biggest thing and the first thing I have to mention is the reason why it was so amazing. He put a ring on it. We got engaged at Disney World on the very first day. Ben proposed in Magic Kingdom. This is my beauty. Yeah, it's... I don't know how, I'm still not used to like how to show it on camera best. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Yeah, so obviously that made the entire trip like extra special, because especially because you did it on the first day. Like, I kept saying that, I think, the whole trip, like, because you did it the first day, it meant that the whole rest of the trip was like one big celebration, which was really lovely. Like, we just were like floating around on a bubble, and everyone kept congratulating us because we got the pins. And I'm actually going to do a whole separate video about like my engagement. But yeah, he proposed as soon as we got there. We walked into Magic Kingdom, and right in the middle, in the very beginning of Magic Kingdom, before you even go like up Main Street, there's a little bit of greenery and plants, and you can pose for a photo there. And I've always wanted my photo there because it's such a stunning shot of the castle in the background, but normally there's a huge queue, and there wasn't this time. So I was like, oh my god, we should go over there. And we ran over, and it was like beautiful. The sun was just coming up. We were there really early. It was like pink skies. It was stunning. Castle in the background, and whilst the photographer was complimenting my outfit, Ben was getting the ring out, and I turned around and he was on one knee. And it was very romantic. He said some beautiful things that I won't ever forget, and I burst into tears. Straight away, ugly cried. I got photos of it all, so that's great. That everyone wants copies of as well. All of the families want copies of those. Great. No, but it was just magic, and obviously that made this trip incredibly special. The biggest thing that I think split this apart from all our other Disney trips, other than obviously getting engaged, was the way in which we went about our days, like our actual planning. We've never done it this way, and I will only ever do it this way now, from now on, because I just think it's the best way I think it's the best way to experience the parks, full stop. But I think especially for us, if you didn't know, I have a chronic disease. I have lupus, but Ben also has a chronic illness, so that he's had since he was a child. So we do both have like health issues that we need to take care of, but basically we split the day, and I planned it that way because I wanted to get in there for extra magic hours, and everyone says the extra magic hours in the morning is the quietest time. And I was like, well, I'd love to do that because I've also always wanted to experience rope drop, but I've never been out. I'm not a morning person. I'm that person that's not a morning person unless I'm at Disney World. I'm really not a morning person, so I've never done it before. I never got up early enough in time. I've got there like as everyone's going in for the first group, but never like for rope drop. So that was like on my bucket list to do this time, and we really did it, and we did it every day. We got up and got there as it was opening, it was dark every day when we got to the parks. We were there until we'd had lunch. We had to have lunch at lunchtime. The latest we ever stayed in the parks was after the parade at Magic Kingdom, because I love the parade. So we'd watch the parade, which I think when we were there was from 2 till 2:30, I want to say. And then we'd go out. But a lot of the time it was early in that. It was either 12 or 1, because we'd been in the park since like 7 AM or 6 AM. Because also when we went, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge had opened like a week before. So a couple of parks were open from 6 AM. So we were getting there for like 6 AM, staying there till 12. I mean, that's still like 6 hours, do you know what I mean, just in the morning. So we'd then have our lunch at the park and then go back to our hotel. We just used the Disney buses, and we'd go back to our hotel, and often at that time going back to your hotels was like no one was on the bus either. There wasn't often a wait for the bus. We'd get straight on the bus, go to our hotel, have a nap. Most of the time, I think only once I didn't have a nap, but we just kind of chilled at the hotel. But most of the time I had a couple of hours of sleep. Because also if I'm getting to the parks for 6 AM, I was getting up at like 4 AM so that I had enough time to like get ready, take all my meds, have breakfast, and then get into the park. Like, I was literally getting up. It's crazy, isn't it? 4 AM. Listen, when I go to Disney, I am going hard or I'm going home. So yeah, anyway, I'd sleep for a couple of hours and then we would go back out. So normally get back into the parks at about, depends what time we left, but like 3, 4, 5, anywhere between that. And then we'd be there till like 10 PM or later, depending on, do you know what I mean? So you're still getting like a 12-hour day at the park, but just split that way. And it seemed, beforehand, I was worried it was going to feel really faffy and like we were just doing a lot of messing around or wasting time, but it didn't at all. And actually, you're also then getting the most beautiful weather. Well, we were anyway. It was like warm, lovely, but not that middle of the day blazing hot sunshine. Because the couple of days that we were at Magic Kingdom and we stayed later till like 2:30, 3, we really felt the difference in the heat and in the park's volume. It's like busiest at that time. So we were getting the parks at their quietest, the weather at its nicest, getting on all the rides. Like, we were done with all the rides in nearly every park by the time we'd done the first half of the day. So when we were going back in the evening, we could just like wander around, pick whatever we wanted to go on again. Like, it was just truly easy and beautiful and perfect. Like, I would recommend that to anyone who is doing a Disney World trip, especially if you're going for 2 whole weeks and you want to be, and you've got like loads of stuff you want to get done like we always do. Then yeah, that was just perfect. This trip I made more time with no plans. Like every time that I've gone, I've made more time each time. I've like, every time I go, I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to make a little bit more even time with no plans. Obviously, it being our 3rd time, we had the luxury of like, we know a bit more of what we want to do and what we don't want to do. But even if you didn't want to do half the stuff at Disney World, you could still spend every moment of every day for 2 weeks busy, because there's just that much stuff to do and see there. But I just left more time open, and it was really nice because it meant that we were just like, oh, we've got no plans. Should we go in the pool at our hotel? Should we park hop? That was literally next on my thing. It meant that we park hopped a lot more, which was lovely. Like, we were like, oh, we've kind of done everything at this park. Oh, should we pop over to Magic Kingdom for the fireworks, or should we pop over to Animal Kingdom to do Everest in the dark? Like, just stuff like that. It was really nice just being like a bit more free and being able to just be like, oh, you know, let's go do this. And I'm not saying, I always advocate that if you're going to Disney World, you should have some plans, because there's just so much to do. I think that if you don't have any plans, you'll come back disappointed that you didn't like do anything. But you can also plan it every minute of every day for the whole 2 weeks. I was kind of somewhere in the middle for this trip, and it was lovely. We did a really lovely mix this time of like old favourites and trying new stuff. We've never been on Soarin', for example, which is like, everyone loves Soarin', and it's something that everyone talks about to do with Disney World, and we've never been on it, and it's not for any reason, we just haven't. And this time we went on it and it was so much fun. I can see why everyone loves it, and it was exciting that there was so much new stuff to do. But also like going back like to Tower of Terror. is still my favourite. I'm sorry. Even with Star Wars, even with Pandora, I love Tower of Terror. It's just, there's nothing else that makes me and Ben cry with laughter the way that does. Like that feeling of like anxious, like I'm getting it now in my belly, like anxiousness of like when are you going to drop is just so funny, and we just have the most fun on that ride, so it's definitely my favourite. But being able to like do a real nice mix of that, because the first time you go everything's new, and then the second time you go, I would still say the second time we went, because we did it such differently, it was like a lot of stuff we just stuck to what we'd liked the first time to prioritise, because also there was 4 years between our 4 years between our first two trips. So yeah, this time we just got that mix right, and it was lovely. Like I just really enjoyed that we got that mix perfect. I ticked off so much of my bucket list this trip, like nearly everything, and some of the stuff was like really small little things, like the lantern photo in the Tangled section at Magic Kingdom. I've always wanted. I think it's stunning. We just never got around to it. It was on my list to do last time and we just never got around to it, and this time we prioritised it on our first night so that I knew we'd done it, and also that was the night we got engaged. So like every time I look at those photos now, I'm like, oh, we just got engaged, and they were standing there holding it, and at last I see the light. Oh, I want to go back. This video, I've been looking at prices for trips for this year, and this video isn't helping that, because Ben's gonna come home and I'm gonna have booked a trip. No, but really, it was yeah, stuff like that, and other bucket list things were like, I'd never had a hot dog from Casey's. That was on my thing, and to sit on the, like, you know, the little patio bit with the little yellow umbrellas, or on the green, and eat it and just look at the castle and let the time go by. We did that on our last day in Magic Kingdom, which was just lovely. Happily Ever After I really wanted to see, because last time we went it was still Wishes, and wow, when I edited that, I watched it, because I filmed the whole thing deliberately so that I could like watch it forever, and I watched it back and I sat on my laptop sobbing. And I'm not joking when I tell you that I sat there and I'd be going, oh my god, and then at the same time on the video, and this is genuinely the first time I've watched it back like since we've been home, at the same time on the video I'd be going, oh my god. The same bits just get me. I just think it's absolutely stunning, and yeah, we just got so much done that I'd really wanted to do, and that's also lovely to be like, oh, because now as well, if we ever do go back, my bucket list will be totally different, because I've done so much of what I wanted to do, so now I can start a new list. The dining plan was absolutely great. I would 100% recommend it to people, 100%, especially if you get it free like we did with our deal. Like, wow, just wow, that's insane. I know it's kind of like people say, oh, you're not really getting it for free because they do this with the price, and they do. I get it. But to me, it felt like I was eating for free the entire time, because I'd paid off the holiday and then we went, and then it was just like tapping our magic band everywhere we went. It was just insane. And the amount of food you get, and yeah, we had the Disney dining plan, so like the mid-tier one, and it was more than enough, and I loved it, and I would probably always want to do it if I went back, because I don't think we came across a restaurant we wanted to eat at that we couldn't use it. The hotel was an absolute dream. That was on my bucket list, and it's just surreal every time I think about it, because genuinely I was 21 years old. We decided we were going to go either on an African safari or to Disney World for our 21st birthdays. Like, we both wanted to really do both of those things, and we decided on Disney World, and then I found the Animal Kingdom Lodge Resort, and I was like, wow, we can be like on safari in Disney World. It's crazy. That's like meant to be. It was so far out of our price range, I can't even explain it to you. It was just like absolutely never going to happen. And so I kind of just let that go and didn't think we'd ever stay there, and then we did, and genuinely I felt like I left my body when we walked in there. I felt like I wasn't really there. Like, I couldn't really wrap my head around the fact that I was actually at that hotel and that I was staying there, and that like we'd done it, and like, I just can't. it was so breathtaking. That lobby when you first go in, wow, there's just nothing else like it. And it's just such a dream that we got to stay there. And it was beautiful. The room was stunning. The staff were amazing. The food was insane. The pool was lovely. Everything about it was just top notch. Like, I would 100% recommend that hotel. The Animal Kingdom Lodge was beautiful. Now on my list is Polynesian and Grand Floridian. I'm speaking into existence. I'm going to stay at them, okay? This trip I had such good character interactions. I just seriously so many good ones, and I know that I kind of make it easier for myself to have good character interactions because often I'm meeting a character and I'm dressed like them, so that then gives you like a talking point or an interaction point with the character. But ones that instantly spring to mind was I had a super long interaction with Buzz, which you should have seen in the Hollywood Studios vlog. I was dressed like Buzz, and it was just so funny. He was swooning over my outfit, and then when I told him my name was Jessie, he pretended to faint. It was hilarious. It was just so much fun. I had an amazing one with Mike and Sully. When I first went in 2012 and I was 21, I just literally strolled upon Sully. He was coming out, I think, to meet and greet people for the first time, and no one was around, and I just kind of bumped into him, and I love him, and so I went to pieces, and my boyfriend's never got over it because he was like, you literally turned into like a 3-year-old, like giggling and nervous, and I was like, I just did, like, and so when we went in 2016, you couldn't meet him anymore. I was gutted, but I dressed like a Monsters Inc. outfit. I had a whole Monsters Inc. thing going on. I had a Sully and Mike hairband situation going on that they loved. Sully wore my ears for the photos, like he took my ears and put them on his head. It just was perfect. It was just so funny. I had great ones with Pooh Bear and friends. I always do. Tigger is always top notch. Had a great one with Jessie. It's the first time I've ever met Jessie. I met Edna Mode as well. That was really funny. Yeah, just really amazing character interactions. And I saw Kevin. I saw Kevin from Up in Animal Kingdom. So good. I absolutely loved Slinky Dog. It was the first time that I've been on it. It wasn't there when we last went. Slinky Dog Dash was an absolute highlight. I really loved it. Even when I got on it, I didn't expect it to be how it was, and it was just so good. And obviously Star Wars, I have to mention. I'm not an OG Star Wars fan. I've got into the new movies and I like them, but I'm still not into the older ones. So I don't know everything. I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan, but it was just anyone can appreciate the detail that they put in. I was sitting there at one point and Ben had gone to get a drink or something, just sitting around the area, and there was like noises of ships flying overhead, and like it was just crazy, the detail. It was really mind-blowing. It was amazing. And of course I have to mention Pandora. Must admit I was more excited for Pandora than for anything else going into this trip, like ride wise, because I've heard everyone say that Flight of Passage is the best, and it is the best. Wow, it is just amazing. And I cried the first time. Actually I cried both times. I cried more the first time, but I definitely cried both times. It's just like an out-of-body experience. You can't explain it to people. I've heard people say that and was like, okay, yeah, I'm excited, yeah. But it really is like, it's just not like any other thing I've ever been on. And the second time we went on it, we asked to go on the top level, and if you can, do, because that is crazy. It's a totally different experience. I feel like the stuff, I don't want to ruin it for anyone that's not been on it, but the stuff you see is made for the top tier, and you can tell. You can't tell if you're any other tier and you've not done the top tier, but once you've done the top tier, you can tell that it's like aimed at them, and I don't know, it just was more intense. It was amazing. Really blew my mind, and the whole theming of the area is just amazing, just mind-blowing. We flew with Virgin this time, and actually I really loved it. They were lovely from start to finish. They were really great because I do use a wheelchair in airports, and yeah, they were really great and helpful. And the plane was nice, and actually because of Hurricane Dorian, I believe her name was, before we went away, our flight got cancelled and then moved, and it was a lot of panic, and was this even going to happen this whole trip? It was like a lot of people were talking about their whole trips being cancelled, and I was so scared of that, but we just got moved on to the next flight and we were off, and it was just all actually really easy. And I would definitely recommend flying with Virgin. It's the first time I've ever done it, and they were great. I must admit, I think the merch is so much better now than when I went in 2016. When I went in 2016, it was a lot of the same jumper in 3 different clothes, in 3 different colours, or, do you know what I mean? And a lot of it was very touristy, very, I went to Disney World and got this t-shirt kind of vibe, and I do like those. I get one every time because I do want to be a tourist and say I went to Disney World. But stuff like spirit jerseys, the amount of ears they've got now, like this as well, this was a highlight. This all got released whilst I was there, literally on the last day we were there maybe, so I bought it and I love it. I love like aqua, mint, turquoisey colours. Yeah, the just merch is just out of this world. They've got so many more like rare characters. When I went as well, it was mainly the Fab Five that was on everything, but this time you can get like so much more of a variety of characters on things, and the clothes are just like way more wearable, like they're like more colourful and youthful and fun, and just really impressed, and that's why I ended up spending so much. If you haven't watched my Disney haul, I'll link it so you can watch it because it was the biggest one yet. And I'm going to move on from that before I remember how much I spent. Talking about clothes though, I do think that the a big highlight of this trip was the fact that it's my favourite Disney outfits I've ever worn. Like I spent a lot of time this time, like just because I found it exciting in the lead up, like planning my outfits from head to toe, and what I was going to wear on what day and stuff like that. And I do that so that I don't overpack, but also because I just find it fun and it gets me excited for the holiday. And yeah, it was my favourite Disney outfits I've ever worn. I was super colourful the whole time, really cute. Everyone kept complimenting me on my outfits. It was just so cute and nice, and all the characters, like I said, that I was wearing their outfits were commenting on it. And I think if you feel nice, it just makes your day better, doesn't it? You want to feel nice and good about yourself, and I just felt great. And now I've got all the photos and I'm all colourful and Disney-fied, and I love it. And it just was a big part of this trip, and I love that because I do love my clothes. So yeah, we spent 2 whole weeks there, 14 nights, 15 days, in the first few weeks of September. I can't remember the exact date we went now. We flew with Virgin. We went premium on the flights, mainly for me, for the extra room and stuff because of my pain levels. We stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge Resort for the whole 2 weeks. We got the Disney dining plan. We got the like tickets so that we could go to any park on any day. And yeah, it really just was the best trip of my entire life. We got so much done, everything that I wanted and more. The way I'd planned the days out was just perfect for us. I really felt like I'd given us enough time in every park, whereas before I've left and gone, oh, I wish I'd spent more time at that park, but I didn't feel like that this time. I feel like we got enough time in all of the parks. We spent about 2 hours total in all of the water parks at Disney, because both times we went to them, the lazy river was down, which was making huge queues everywhere else, and I can't stand for that long. So yeah, it just wasn't very good, so we didn't end up staying at those very long, where normally they're like one of my favourite things. But yeah, I just feel like my planning paid off, and it just was the best trip of my entire life. I will never ever forget it, for obvious reasons, but also just because it was amazing. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed watching the Disney vlogs. If you've watched along, thank you so much, because the amount of work I put into them and the amount of like heart and soul I put into them, because they do like mean everything to me. I love them. I love making them. I love editing them. I love that I can watch them back. Ben said that as soon as they're all up, we're both going to sit down and watch them back together. It's like having home videos of our trip, and I really am proud of this lot of vlogs. I feel like I've massively upped my game from the last time I did it. The last time I did it was the first time I've ever vlogged like in public. So yeah, I'm super proud of them, and just thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed them. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and if you want to see more Disney content, definitely do subscribe, because I've got lots of Disney stuff up my sleeve. And stay tuned for my engagement story, because that'll be coming real soon. And yeah, I hope you're having a magical day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. I'm kind of sad. This feels like the end of like my Disney trip all over again. Feels like I'm leaving Disney World for the first time again. No, I don't want it to be over.